Hi everyone. So it's another deep dive Saturday, and I wanted to dig into a post that I had put out there, I think on the B+1 page the other day, and then also maybe had added it into a story with a comment about I was pretty sure there was a video coming about this, and I forget exactly what it said, but it basically said something to the effect of me in relationship ignoring 950 red flags, and then me in dating stop talking to him because I didn't like the way he typed that, right? And so there's this whole thing about stuff that we hold on to. And I did the unburdening ceremony with my good friend Denise the other night, which was amazing. Thank you to those that came. And it's about giving up these old stories that we hold on to and that become so integrated into a part of our identity, right? And these feelings. And, sometimes people hold on to bitterness or anger or grudges or victim stories, or there's all these things that we hold on to that we have a hard time letting go of, including relationships. And a lot of times people will sort of make the judgment that people hold on to these things because they're afraid of being alone, or they're afraid of this void. They don't know who they'll be without this relationship or this other person, right? And that is very true. And it's likely largely true for the majority of people and their particular stories or feelings or relationships that they're not letting go of. But I wanted to talk about maybe some of the other reasons, and then how a person can be so quick to write somebody new off, because I want to stay on the relationship vein, but how you can write somebody new off so quickly, and yet you're holding on to this person that is toxic, unhealthy. It's just not good for you. It's not good for them. It's not going anywhere. It's not fulfilling. Maybe you originally got into the relationship for the wrong reasons, and now it's just more and more evident and more clear, right? So why do we hold on to that for so terribly, painfully long sometimes? I mean, some people just beat these things to a dead horse, right? And then yet are so quick to go nowhere near it again. And I think that's the hint to it. I think that while there's an aspect of being in these relationships that is familiar and comfortable, and yes, it's not letting you be alone, right? And there may even be some aspects of it that this relationship has become your identity, much in the same way that a story or feelings have become. But I think that there are many of us that at least partially or maybe in total hold on to these relationships because nothing to do with the other person, right? But it's such a loss of ourselves, and we judge and beat up ourselves about that this is a perceived failure, that you had such high hopes, or maybe you feel like, once again, I let myself fall into this and other people are going to judge me. A failure. I mean, that's really what just keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. And I hear that story with people, and the the facing of the failure and the admitting it and owning it, and I don't really believe, of course, that it is a failure, but so many people hold that in their head, so we're just going to call it that for now. But I don't believe that, just so you know. And so many people would rather hold on to this than move into that space and move into that place and face whatever outside judgment is going to come about how you don't make the right decisions, or you couldn't keep a good relationship, or that you're somehow broken, or that there's something wrong with you, that you couldn't make this relationship work. And that's really the crux of it. I believe. I think that we hold on to them because of the way that we are feared, that we are bad, broken, not good, have failed, all of these things, these stories, and that there are maybe likely people in our lives who are then going to impart that and reinforce that in us, that belief in us about it. And that this holding on is not about afraid to be alone or afraid of the unknown, maybe partially, but sitting in that space where you have a darkness that you feel about yourself, where you have guilt or shame or a total absence of love for yourself, and the fear that that is going to be reflected back to you, and that you're going to be on the receiving end of those same thoughts that you're already having about yourself from other people in your life. That's what can hold us in relationships. And that is more gripping and can keep us there longer than anything else. If you relate to this, if there's a part of that that rings true for you, and you want to talk about it, or you want to agree, by all means, please comment below. Or if you're not comfortable with that out loud, feel free to send me a direct message. I love to hear from all of you. And I just want to leave you with the parting thought that I know these things feel very, very real, and that makes them real and true for you. But I also am able to see you and hold you in this higher space, which I would love to do. And I assure you that you have not failed. And there is nothing so wrong with you or so broken about you that you need to stay in a situation to just try and prove that to yourself, and especially not to other people. With that, I love you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. And if there's something you want to hear about, I'd love to do a video for you. Thanks, everyone.